Good morning. Happy Monday. John 1:5 says, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not defeated it." Got up this morning to go work out, and it was still dark. And I didn't see that verse until I got back from working out this morning, but I just felt it speaking to me because I've never really enjoyed getting up early in the morning when it's still dark. And I was thinking a little bit about why is that? And I think many people probably share my feeling on that. Why do we not want to get up when it's still dark? Is it because we feel like we're supposed to still be sleeping during that time? A lot of animals sleep when it's dark. It's just kind of natural thing that happens. But why do they do that? It's because they can't see. And when you can't see, there's not a whole lot that you can do. So, interestingly, humans developed this thing called light, started with fire, and moved on eventually to electricity. So, we've kind of defeated the darkness in a sense, a very literal sense, as far as being able to be awake and see and do things around the clock, which is kind of interesting to me. But then I got to thinking about darkness, and is darkness even necessary at this point? If we have this man-made ability to see in the dark, do we need the darkness? I would argue yes. It's awfully hard for me to sleep if it's not dark. Even if there's a little bit of ambient light, I have a really difficult time sleeping. Don't always have a hard time falling asleep with some ambient light or the TV on, but I have a hard time staying asleep if there's any light. I like it to be really, really dark. Not everybody is that way, but for me, it is. So I was thinking, I guess this is perspective. It's the darkness, and whether it's good or bad is your perspective. So, if we don't have to have darkness, then, why does it even exist? But I think really that the darkness being opposite of light is important. And I think that God created it very intentionally so that our bodies will rest. And I also think that in relation to that verse about the light defeating the darkness, of course, that is far more theological than just light and dark, day and night, sleep and awake. It's much more about good and bad. And so it just kind of led me to thinking this morning about, well, then why? Why does there have to be bad? Why can't it always be good? And this is not a new conversation. It's not a new debate, but it's something that I think I've understood more about as I've gotten older. And I've really come to believe that there has to be dark. There has to be negative. There has to be storms, difficult times, in order for us to appreciate the good times, the happiness, the joy. If we didn't have dark, we wouldn't understand light. If we didn't have difficulties, if we didn't have storms, and if there wasn't evil in the world, we wouldn't understand and we wouldn't appreciate all of the good things and the happy times, and we wouldn't experience or appreciate salvation through Jesus. So maybe getting a little bit deep this morning, but again, it's just perspective. Where are you right now? What are you going through? We know the whole world is going through something difficult, a pandemic, which is the majority of us have never seen anything like this in our lifetime. It can be really, really dark for a lot of people. But if you can find hope, then it makes it a lot more manageable. because hope is that feeling where you know the end of this season is coming and the beginning of another season will start. I feel like I've seen a lot of signs of a new season coming as far as the end of a pandemic, where things were closed up and we could barely go anywhere or do anything, and things are starting to open. Things are starting to feel a little more positive than they had before. Some people I don't think are feeling that feeling. Perhaps they're limited still in what they can do for different reasons, whether it's health reasons or mobility reasons, or maybe it's people that haven't been able to get back to work yet. There are multiple reasons that you might feel like that right now. But if you look around, you can see the difference in things changing and people learning to live with this virus as opposed to waiting for it to be over, because as we know, that might take some more time. So as I was thinking about that this morning, I was just thinking more about hope and where does hope come from. And for me, I feel like I found my source of hope in Jesus, and knowing that he's with me, knowing what my salvation is, knowing that being here on earth and the things that we experience, the light and the dark, the good and the bad, it isn't the end. If you don't understand that, and if you feel like you need to know more about that, please message me. I'd be glad to talk to you about that. But I was thinking too, because these videos that I've been making are more specifically about my journey with exercise and weight loss and just fitness and health in general, because that's become something really important to me recently. Why do I keep doing this? Why am I able to continue this when before I haven't been consistent with this in so long? And I think the answer is hope. And I really feel like I have so much hope right now about what could be different for me as time goes on, and as I continue to work really hard and try to make improvements in myself. I have hope that I'm making changes. So this morning, my friend and I went to a different location for our workout today because they were doing some benchmark tests. So that's an opportunity. As you can imagine, it sounds exactly like what it is. It was an opportunity to see how many of certain exercises you could do in a certain amount of time. So some of them, one of them I got like 0. And then there were some of them that I surprised myself. I still had to do modifications. And the one that I think I'm the most proud of is the timed half mile that we did. And the goal was intensity. And I was able to, I ran a very short way, and then power walked the rest of the half mile. I was able to walk it in 9 minutes and 20 seconds. And if you've followed my videos at all, I often tell you what my mileage time is for 1 mile. So if you double that 9 minutes and 20 seconds, that will be 18 minutes and 40 seconds. And even if I, didn't keep up that average for the whole mile, that still beats my record by far. So I'm proud of myself today. I'm really proud of the progress that I'm making. And that just makes me feel more hopeful as I see the progress. So, if you're having any difficulty right now seeing the light, take a look backwards. Take a look at where you've come from, whether it is with something physical like this, if it's with the sun is like Isn't that like God? You know, I get on here and talk about light, and He shines the sun right in my face. So, anyway, back to my serious point. If you're having a hard time seeing progress, and if you're having a hard time seeing hope, then look back, see how far you've come. Whether it is a relationship, whether it's exercise, whether it's any goal that you're trying to reach, education. If you're trying to get a degree and you feel like that end point is far away and it's been crazy because of this pandemic and everything is online, look how far you've come. Look at what you have accomplished. Take some time thinking about that, and then look back forward and see where you have to go, because whatever it is that you need to do or want to do, I'm 100% sure that you can do it. So that's my encouragement for today. Stay with it, because you're worth it. But remember that we do have to have light and darkness. We have to have good times and bad times. It has to be hard sometimes so that sometimes we appreciate what's easy. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll be working out again tomorrow. It's tough. It's not the easiest thing to do, but I'm really glad that I'm doing this, and I can't wait to see more progress. Have a great day.